Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's a good one. We got a double. I got one now too. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, the son of a. Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's show with our good friend Andrew Gullickson from Beavertail, and we're going to be doing some bass fishing. Hey, if you're not a bass fisherman, don't turn the channel because we got a lot of interesting things to talk about today. We're going to talk about guiding in general. Why do people get into guiding? You know what? So you guys hang on to your heinies. We got a lot of things cooking.
When I first saw the Kalen's frog, I was like, okay, it looks like a frog. I don't know how it's going to be, how it's going to do. One of the really cool things though is just how much hook gap you get in there. That's really, really important when you're talking frog because there's so much area on that frog to keep weeds off. You can throw this thing about anywhere and it won't get hung. And you can do that with a lot of frogs, but if you can't get a good hook gap on a good stout hook like that, you're just going to lose a lot of fish. But that's probably one of the first things I look at in a good frog is having a really good hook gap and a really stout hook, because we're going to be smacking them. Really heavy rods, really heavy braid, because it's not about the weight of the fish, it's all the cover that you're in. And if you let these fish bury in, you'll get a 2-pound fish bury under the weeds, you won't be able to move them. I'm a generalist. I like either a really dark frog or a really light colored frog to contrast. So what I'll do is I'll take a Sharpie and I just kind of squiggle it up, mark it up a little bit, kind of like the bottom of a frog might be. Make it where there's not that white outline.
That's it right there.
Yep,
huh?
Definitely. I'll show you one frog tip that I think a lot of people overlook. On this one I've already got rigged up. I will take a new frog out of the package. These right out of the package are really, really soft, which is great. And they haven't ripped up for me. A lot of times you get a few bites, they'll rip up. What I'll do is tie it on first. Otherwise you'll have some issues. But I'll take it and I'll pull the hooks out and you'll see it kind of starts to like stretch the nose, and that frees up that hook a little bit more. Because usually the first time or two that a fish hits it, if that nose is really hard, it won't stretch and it won't allow that hook to come free or to really move like it should. I'll kind of bury that in there. That does two things. One, it helps keep weeds from building up on there. And two, it's already kind of preloaded so that the hook's back a little further on the frog. Yep. And it comes free a little bit better too.
All right,
let's get fishing.
Let's get her going.
Okay, ready for this skippy do?
Got him.
Got him, nice job.
Got him.
Got him, nice
Yep,
job.
there he is. That's not bad, it's a good start. Dang, I love this stuff. I haven't done this in years. Good fish in my book, man.
Fish.
I'll take that. The old K-frog came through.
Look at that hook separated like we talked about.
That's absolutely perfect from that. I never even thought about that because a lot of the other frogs I've used in the past, the hook stays right there, doesn't move ever.
Yep. And they don't all come out, but if you soften them up, they'll come out like that, and then that frog's out of the way. You're not battling the frog, you just got a hook in them.
Why don't you use a fluorocarbon leader, especially on a calm day like today, where maybe the fish are watching that line and stuff like that? You don't feel that's necessary?
No, I don't think so. There's a lot of weeds and stuff in the water anyways.
Okay.
And then the fluorocarbon will actually tend to tip the nose of the frog
because
down.
it sinks.
Yep, because it sinks. And it won't allow me to do some of the action that I like to do, and it'll make the frog dive more. It just stretches too much. We want to stick them. We're using heavy stuff for a reason.
That's interesting. There you go. Good job to start it off. Awesome, dude. Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats in Tigerton, the finest jerky on the planet. Hey, I got a great tip for you. Anybody that's used any type of braid, always when you're casting, there's times where all of a sudden you'll get a loop in your line way, way, way into the spool where you've never even had that much line out. A way to really correct that and keep that from happening, a big thing is when you're winding your line, I've got a brand new rod and reel today here. So when I'm winding my line up and I'm spooling it like this, what I do, I'll do this 2 or 3 times, is I'll take some real magic. This stuff is magic, no doubt about that. I swear by this stuff. And what I'll do as I'm spooling, filling my spool, what I'll do is I'll constantly spray that in there and get that on all that line, even though, again, I'll never cast that far, but a lot of times when you get them loops, it doesn't matter if it's a spinning reel or a bait caster like this one, it's way down deep. And I'll tell you what, by springing that line down as you're spooling up your reel, it'll save you a lot of headaches in the long run. Hey everybody, again, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. The cool part about Mag's Custom Rods is basically they build a rod for every application that's out there. So if you guys are looking for a musky rod, a panfish rod, a walleye rod, a bass rod, whatever rod you're looking for, make sure you check out our good friends over at Mag's Custom Rods.
You know, people will pull up to a big mat like this and kind of just start fishing all of it. And some days they are all over the place. A lot of times you want to pick your high percentage spots. Like you get the thin spots, or you get something like lily pads in a mat, and those lily pads will provide a little spot for them to hunt and still have all the cover. But they'll be able to move around better in them.
Ooh, holy moly.
Missed him.
That was freaking cool, dude. That was cool.
See if he'll come back.
That was very cool.
A lot of fish to bite or do something a little different and keep that frog in the strike zone is to walk the frog, take Kermit for a walk.
Okay,
And
what do you mean by that?
so I leave a little bit of line out and I'll twitch it, and it gets that frog to walk back and forth almost in the same spot. It gets a lot of movement, but you keep the
But you're not moving the
you're
frog
not
a
moving
lot.
the frog very far. So
Okay.
you keep it right on his nose, but he doesn't get as good a look at it because it's still moving. It's another thing to do when it's calm out, or if you're seeing a lot of wakes or a lot of fish missing you, just being able to keep it right there and just turn it back and forth in one spot. I think it also mimics like a struggling bluegill really well.
Okay.
A lot of times these fish aren't eating frogs. They're eating bluegills, they're eating whatever's a high calorie, easy to get meal. And if you can keep it up there like something struggling and splashing, and it isn't moving very far, that's pretty hard to resist. And you got to get a little bit of a cadence with your reel to pick up your slack as you're twitching. It takes a little bit of walking and chewing and gum at the same time, but once you get it, you can really make it dance out there.
Whoa! Whoa!
And apparently that's what they like. If I could now I just gotta have a little better self-discipline and wait for it to actually eat it. So today what we're using with our frog is a 50 to 65 pound braid. Sounds a little crazy, but with all these weeds and vegetation, you want something where you're not worried about it breaking. And then I'm running a 7/4 heavy. Anything 7 foot or longer is better. I just think it takes up line a little bit better if you get a fish and thick stuff way out there. Like we said, not using a leader on that. It's really important too to have a reel with a really good stiff drag. Some of these lighter reels only have like an 8 or 9 pound drag. You can look at it in their specs. When you set, it'll actually slip drag out, and instead of driving that hook through weeds and stuff into the fish's mouth, you'll just slide the drag. So you want to make sure you're combat fishing here in these weeds. It's you pulling against, you know, a 2 to 5 pound fish and 20 to 70 pounds of weeds, so you want to be able to win that. Moving that mat a little bit and just having a know of like, that's a spot there should be a fish. Sometimes it's even hard to tell somebody when it's gonna be. I was fishing kind of looking this way, and out of the corner of my eye I saw a dragonfly touch the mat, and it moved. Larry didn't catch it, so I said, hold on, I know right where it was, so let me cast. And the moment I came over him, he blew up.
That's awesome.
Sweet. My degree is in fisheries biology.
Oh, your degree is in how to miss a fish.
How to miss a just sitting out there apparently.
Let me cast, you talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep the boat. there and keep the frog in the boat so we don't get blown up too much. My degree, as I was saying, is in fisheries biology. What rain will tend to do is it feeds a lake with nutrients, grows big fish, but it also causes algae blooms. What would this look like if the algae part of it is gone? And that's this kind of mushy looking stuff that's tying all the weeds together.
Yeah.
That's all your algae.
Okay.
And if you got a pond, that's something you're always battling. So if you got a thick, weedy, mucky lake near you, that's a really good place to go take a frog, because as we've seen, you can throw these things anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, you got them. Get them out of there, Larry.
That does get the heart racing. I love fishing, man. I got a 3-pound fish and 30 pounds of weeds. That is a really good one.
There you go.
This is something I haven't done in probably 10, 12, 15 years, and absolutely awesome.
And this is something everybody can do. You don't need a boat. You could be right up there on shore or on a dock.
That's a cool thing.
Look where that frog is too. That's just really, they are
Absolutely. Smoke that. Oh, got him.
Ooh, you're gonna give us some aerials.
That was cool.
There he goes. Oh yeah, that's another nice one.
That is a nice one.
What an awesome way to fish, right?
It's just so exciting.
Because you don't need a locator, right? You're not,
Right.
you get so addicted to all the forward-facing sonar stuff, and here's something totally different, right? You're not relying
Yeah.
on that at all.
We haven't even turned it on today. I
Right.
think it
No
actually
reason.
would hurt us turning it on this shallow. All the extra noise and stuff in the water. And yeah, we're catching fish like that. That's probably a 3.5 pounder.
That's a good fish.
Nice fish. The pattern is starting to show up where we get these broken up mats. You just got to find each fish is a clue. Instead of making it 500 casts to a bite, now we might be starting to get up to like 15, 20 casts to a bite. So one way I like to fish these close to shore mats is I'll throw it way up into stuff, and I'll actually point my rod at it and just reel slowly and maybe pull a little bit if I need just a little more leverage. And the frog tends to drop right on the edge like that.
Instead of loading your rod up.
If you load your rod up, it gets to the edge and it flings out, and you miss the first 4 feet, which is why you're trying to cast over there anyways. So
Good
now
tip.
you get the whole cast in, and a lot of times it'll fall off of that vegetation right onto a bass, and they'll scarf it like they were watching for it. There's a good one. There we go. Back on them.
You've been guiding how long now? Last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah. About 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You've got 4 kids.
I started guiding kind of originally just so I could get out and fish more. So with the kids and stuff, you don't get a lot of chance when they were younger. But I'd have the excuse of I gotta go make some money. And
I know
it's
that
just,
one.
I love kind of the freedom with it. I'm the type of guy, Larry, that I like to have my fun and catch fish like I'm whooping your butt today.
Yeah, I don't mind that one bit.
I get as much enjoyment out of somebody else catching a fish in my boat or on the ice with me as if I caught that fish.
That's
Like,
the way
I'm
a
just
good guide is.
Like, I just want them to get one.
Right.
Because of that experience and that rush that you get. The drug of the time between your rod moves or that fish bites, the time your brain takes to sense that bite.
Yeah.
It's just the most addicting drug there is. It's not always pretty, it's not always fun, and
And it's not always easy.
it's definitely not always easy. There's a lot of pressure involved.
There is.
A
I
lot of
always say that when it
Yeah.
comes to guiding, there's a lot of other things you could do to make more money, right?
Yep. Most of the time it's the people you're with and making those friends.
That's it. That's why I never give up guiding.
I've made such good friends. Every time out, it's almost without fail. You make some new friends and you can't wait to see them on the next trip.
Yep.
That's what it's really about. Really? Got him. There we go. Back on the board.
Kind of interesting, we went and fished the lily pads, had one spot where we had 3 blow up, and then we fished for an hour and never had another bite. Came back to the slop with a little bit of lily pad in here. There's a good fish. Let's talk about that, right?
Yeah, just kind of mixing it up and not letting yourself fish something too long really helps. And then changing your habitat type too, because we definitely got a little of that slop mixed in with the lily pads, and it made a big difference.
instead of just pure lily pads.
Yep.
Right.
We didn't hardly do anything, even when there was lilies in the slop earlier. Just a few lilies.
Yep.
Not much, and not much in pure lily pads, but we're mixing them. We're back on some fish, Larry.
I love that. God, there he is. Keep him on. There he goes. Oh, nice.
Nice one.
Nice fish.
One. There we go.
Woohoo! You gotta love that. Absolutely. The ones that decide to bite absolutely swallow that. Different colors. He just had one blow up on it, and then he threw about 4 more times in there and could not get that fish to react to that bait again. I cast it at slightly different angle because I'm in the back of the boat, different color. I've got the black on there, and that fish just absolutely blew up on it. I had him hooked for, 5 seconds and gone. But that's the key too. That's something you got to remember is when you're fishing with somebody else, even though they're catching fish, it's always good to have different colors on. It doesn't matter if you're walleye fishing, bass fishing, muskie fishing, mixing things up is definitely key.
There's days where they want it to splash, but if you can get that cast away from the fish and kind of sneak up on them with the frog, seems like you get a lot more bites most days. And you can feel them out. There's days they want that splash, they want a lot of moving, and as soon as it touches the water, we had one today where it landed in the water and blew up. But if you can make that long cast, ends up a lot better a lot of the time.
That's something small. Oh, you son of a... Oh.
Still think he's little?
Oh, there you go. Nice job, buddy. Nice job, Andrew. Nice job. We worked that fish about 4 different times at different angles, and he kept popping at it, but that time he actually blew up on it. You gotta love it right there. Never give up. And I'll tell you what, if you want to become a fishing guide, you gotta definitely have that mentality that you never give up on anything. It's a great way to make a living, but it's a lot of hard work, and if you like to work hard, it's definitely a great career for you.
Oh, he's gonna spray that warrior. It just, little 1.5 2 pound bass blowing up like that. The way it still gets my heart racing when I've been doing this even 20 years now.
Right, it's kind of like even like deer hunting. I still get excited about seeing small bucks.
Yeah. And if you don't, that's when you maybe shouldn't do it anymore.
Right. It's a great industry to be in, but there is a lot of work. When you love what you're doing, it's a whole different deal.
Big part of why I can still do this is I get to take my son out. He came out and scouted this with me and threw a bait caster for the first time. He lost a big bass and had fun. It gets me out fishing with the kids when otherwise maybe I'd be at a desk or I'd be gone long hours. And there's definitely some long hours, but there's a lot of it the kids can do with me, and they can learn about business and learn. Brantley gets to learn at a young age how to do the fishing part of it, the guiding. In the winter, he with certain clients, he'll come out and be a helper, and he loves to be around people and teach them how to fish too. So far, we've had a pattern. We haven't been able to really dial it to anything. It's been such a vague pattern of just these loose mats holding some fish. But it's been
definitely these are probably the toughest conditions you could deal with when it comes to fishing topwater on a clear body of water like this.
You want to be able to know you're gonna get bit, and today that's been tough.
Got him. Got him out in the open? Awesome.
That K-frog has seen some fish today. Buried right in the top again. Just another nice one. Nope. They're missing it. Why are they missing it? No, I didn't. He missed it again. This one. Oh, he missed it again.
Ooh.
Nope, he never had it. Got him that time.
Good job. That's amazing how many fish have swatted at these baits in the last hour and how few of them we're actually hooking into, right?
Yeah, they're just not even getting
just
it.
Knocking it right out of the water. Oh, yeah. Whooshka.
Look at that K-frog up in there.
Loving the K-frog. That's a nice fish.
There's one.
There you go. That time you got it.
Yep, that time I got him. It's still there.
That time he came right back. It's amazing. Almost every time the last 5 or 6 fish, have definitely blown up on the bait 2 or 3 times, and then eventually we get the hook into them.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's a good one.
Absolutely thump-ola. We got a double. I got one now too. Oh, it's a good one. When you're out of, oh, mine just came off right there. God darn. Yep, it's amazing how they get wrapped up in that weed. Still got him? Yep, I lost mine right next to the boat. Oh, nice bass. Whew, that's a nice one there, big guy. You
He
old
come
bass man.
flying
you.
out for that thing.
That was awesome. Ho, 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 ho. Dude, you're on fire. You're Kevin Van Dam Jr.
Another pretty one.
Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can either go online at backroadsguideservice.com or check me out on Facebook or give me a shout at 715-577-5875. Come on out, we can catch some bass, some big bluegills, chase some crappies or pike. Hopefully we can have some fun like we did today, right, Larry?
You got it, buddy. Hey, like we do each and every week, you know, we always give special thanks to all of our military men and women for the great service they have given this country and continue to give this country, along with all of our fighter fighters and paramedics, and no doubt all of our law enforcement agents. It is a great day to be alive, folks, and thanks for joining us.